The cell was built to hold gods. Forged from neutron-forged alloys and surrounded by energy fields that could crush a starship, it was a perfect prison, a masterpiece of alien engineering. No being had ever escaped from it. No being was ever meant to. And yet inside it sat a human. The guards didn't know his name. They called him Subject 09, though among themselves they whispered another name, the Death Worlder. He had been captured during the siege of Velra 7, where one man had supposedly annihilated an entire battalion of soldiers before being subdued by orbital bombardment. The Varkan Empire had conquered hundreds of worlds, broken thousands of species. They believed themselves invincible, but they'd never fought a human before. Subject 09 sat quietly in the dark, his head bowed, his wrists bound by plasma chains that hissed with each breath. The Varkan scientists circled him from behind glass, their instruments scanning his body, his brain, his blood. "He's a primitive," one said. "Carbon-based, oxygen-dependent, fragile." "Fragile?" another hissed. "He survived a point-blank plasma burst. His cells regenerate at triple the rate of ours." The lead scientist, High Arcanist Tavor, leaned close to the glass. "It doesn't matter. We'll break him." Every creature breaks, eventually. Inside the cell, the human lifted his head. Slowly. His eyes, gray, cold, almost metallic, met Tavor's. And for the first time, the alien flinched, the human smiled. They began the conditioning the next day. Neural shocks, gravity compression, sensory deprivation. Every test designed to shatter the mind, to erase will, to turn him into something obedient. For a while, they thought it worked. He didn't scream. He didn't beg. He just watched, always watching. When they injected him with control nanites, his vitals spiked. But he said nothing. When they filled his mind with false images, his world burning, his people begging for mercy, his pulse never changed, until one technician made a mistake. He laughed, mocked the images playing on the screen, called the humans savages, monsters, animals pretending to be sentient. The subject's head turned. The chains tightened, groaned. The energy field flickered. The technician stopped laughing, and then quietly, the human said his first words since capture. "You have no idea how right you are." The next second, the lights exploded. Security footage recovered later would show what happened, but no one truly believed it. Subject 09 didn't break his restraints. They melted. The plasma chains evaporated, the field destabilized, the walls buckled inward. The human stood amid the chaos, his skin shimmering with some strange energy, part fury, part fire, part something else entirely. He didn't look human anymore. His heartbeat distorted magnetic sensors. His eyes glowed like lightning caged behind bone. When the guards fired, their weapons jammed. When they ran, the doors sealed shut on their own, and then the killing began. No elegance, no precision, just raw animal efficiency, every strike calculated, every movement perfect. The human tore through armor like paper, his hands cracking reinforced plating, his roar echoing through the corridors. The Varkans had always thought of humanity as weak, soft creatures from a toxic, violent world who somehow stumbled into the stars. But what they never understood was why humanity had survived that world. They weren't strong in spite of Earth. They were strong because of it. The Death World didn't raise prey. It raised predators. By the time reinforcements arrived, the facility was silent. The control systems were offline, the atmosphere thick with ash. Hundreds of Varkans lay dead. The rest had fled into the tunnels, their minds broken by what they'd seen. Tavor, the proud scientist who had once mocked the human, crawled through the wreckage, bleeding and trembling. He found the subject standing in the courtyard, staring up at the night sky. "What are you?" Tavor whispered. The human turned toward him. "You wanted to chain a monster," he said quietly. "So you made one." Tavor raised his weapon, shaking. "You can't win. There are more of us. There's an entire empire coming for you." The human stepped forward. Each footfall cracked the ground. His presence alone made the air hum. "Good," he said. "Let them come." Then he vanished into the smoke. 2 weeks later, the Varkan High Command lost contact with 3 more colonies. Surveillance drones caught fleeting glimpses, shadows in the mist, burning ships, soldiers turning on their own systems. And at the heart of it all, one figure, a man. Rumors spread across the stars. The humans were back. The Deathworlders had survived. Some said the prisoner had rallied the remnants of humanity, that they were hunting down the species that once enslaved them. Others claimed he wasn't leading an army at all, that he was the army, a living storm, a reckoning wrapped in flesh. In time, the Varkan Empire began to whisper a new title for him, one spoken only in fear: the Breaker of Chains. Centuries later, long after the Varkan civilization had turned to dust, explorers found the ruins of that same facility. The air was still thick with radiation. In the central chamber stood a single inscription carved into the wall, written in human script. It read, "You can cage a beast, you can break a soldier, but you can never chain a human." And beneath it, burned into the metal, was a handprint, blackened, perfect, unmistakably human. No one ever learned what became of Subject Nero 9. Some say he returned to Earth, others that he became something more than mortal. But across the galaxy, his legend endured. A warning whispered by every empire that thought itself unbreakable: do not try to enslave the children of Earth, for when you chain a human, you awaken the monster inside.